All right, hello everybody, and welcome once again to Sports Talk 920. I am your host, Michael Goodman, and proud to announce now that we are permanently going to be here at Spreaker. So get used to that. Found better price packages and stuff like that here in Spreaker over Blog Talk Radio. So hey, why not do it? I think their technology and how their interface is a little bit better. So hopefully we can enjoy it together. Unfortunately, there is going to be no callers in, but you can still chat here, right here on our page here. So feel free to message us during the show, and we'll try to interact with you the best we can. I don't know if Rudy is going to be coming on today. He said he was going to, but with Spreaker, there is no calls like there is on the Blog Talk Radio site. So we do have to use Skype, and Rudy getting new technology is a little more difficult than maybe it would be someone else. But so anyway, try to get him in the next couple weeks. But again, it's still, I guess, not impossible to get Rudy on here. We figured that out, but it's just now figuring out if Rudy can download Skype. But anyway, as you know, we're kind of still in that little lull of the sports world. Not a lot of action going on, although you do have Wimbledon going on right now. I think it's the British Open in golf. Not even 100% sure there. I know Tiger Woods, once again is not going to be, withdrew from the tournament that's going on this weekend, and every time, it's for me, being a Tiger fan, it is a little depressing seeing that he's not out there. But I do got to say, at some point, that ever since, so I mean, it's been 2009. I think it was about when we started, Sports Talk 920 back in 2009, is when the whole, sex allegation stuff or whatever, sex addiction stuff came into fruition, and really just kind of depressing that I mean, he broke the sanctity of marriage, or sanctity, whatever the word is there, of marriage, but he really didn't do anything illegal, and kind of ruined his career since then, and just been in a mental funk. And, ever since 2009, I mean, think about it, that's 7 years. 7 years since, Tiger was, back when Tiger was Tiger, over 7 years now. And are we, the question's always asked, are we ever going to see him again? See Tiger the way Tiger used to be? And I think we almost have to give up on it. I think he's all but out of the conversation. It seems like a lot of these reports, if he's going to be in a tournament or if he's not going to be in a tournament, is basically there just to keep him in the limelight a little bit and to keep him relevant. Because I think, when we talk golf, it's McIlroy, Watson, Spieth, these names that have, replaced Tiger as, maybe not not as dominant as Tiger Woods used to be, per se. Or we wouldn't say that at all, I guess. But anyway, it's, Tiger's not even in the mix. I think even if he was in these tournaments, 100% healthy, or even if I guess let's just say, even if his health was an issue, I think we could say that by the time he gets healthy again, will he? I mean, it's, again, 7 years has passed. He's getting up there in age, sort of. Like, he's in his early 40s, mid 40s. I can't remember how old he is. But can he even get back to that dominance if he, not even dominance, but can he be that good? Can he be capable of winning tournaments? It's been so long since he's done so. If he's 100% healthy, or if he gets there, I'm going golfing today. I don't even know. I golfed decent on the front nine last week. don't even know if I could relive that because of the muscle memory and stuff like that. Although I am not a pro golfer, so I can't say too much. So anyway, enough about golf. That was a lot of golf talk. That was probably about 3 to 4 minutes of golf talk. That's been a while there, but we can talk NBA. You know, we have the free agency going on right now too. You see Dwight Howard going back to Atlanta, signs a deal with the Hawks. The Bucks have been active in free agency as well. Our Milwaukee Bucks. Kind of surprised some of the monetary value in some of these deals that really I guess I never seen coming. But the money that's been thrown around, even Matthew Dellavedova, I think I said that right. The Cavaliers' former bench guy that was kind of kept them in the finals last year for as long as they lasted. He was kind of the sixth man player for him, and I don't know how his year was last year. I didn't hear as much of his name as how much fame he got in the finals a couple years ago. But the Bucks spent, I believe it was a 4-year deal, $38 million. And I can't remember the guy they signed from the Suns, some Djokovic guy, I don't know, some Russian dude. And he got like a 3-year, $30 million deal. So they've been active in free agency so far. And just the money, again, that's been thrown around. Some of these I believe there was something in the NFL players that have been posting on social media, on Twitter and such, that they had to look up some of the names of some of these players, Google the names, that could probably get paid more than a lot of the NFL players do that almost are household names that we hear week in, week out. And then in basketball you might not know who they are, but it's been kind of interesting. And speaking of just maybe crazy money spent, the Milwaukee Bucks and New York Knicks are in talks with Dwayne Wade. So, the Bucks still could potentially be diving a little bit more into that free agent market with Dwayne Wade. And, kind of Dwayne Wade returning to his college town. He's close to his, only a couple hour drive from, maybe an hour and a half drive from his hometown in Chicago, and Marquette is where he played college basketball. So it'd be interesting to see. I think it'd be a fan favorite move. I know some people that would like it, but I believe he wanted no less than $20 million per year. And again, I guess as far as understanding the NBA salary cap and all this money that's been spent, and can the Bucks afford someone like Dwayne Wade, who still is a good player, but obviously isn't that seems like he doesn't have a whole lot left in the tank, and a guy that might be a little bit injury prone too. And for $20 million a year, and I don't know how long of a contract the Bucks would be willing to offer him, but that'd be interesting to see as well. But again, just crazy money being spent. If the Bucks, I'd say if the Bucks did sign Dwayne Wade, it'd be something that I think that would at least put them in some, a team that's young, that's rebuilding. It'll add some veteran leadership, a guy that I think can lead this young team, and maybe not having great seasons or making crazy NBA Finals runs, but I think that could greatly improve the team in the short term, and maybe give that leadership that will help in the long term, and advice to some of these young players like Jabari Parker and stuff like that. But and it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see it. I think it put him back in a national spotlight too, I guess. Instead of I'm watching Sports Center right now here in the background, and instead of probably their usual 30-second highlights when they're playing the Phoenix Suns or some other kind of lower market team, they might get a little bit more attention if they signed a player like Dwayne Wade. So it'd be interesting to see what other moves will be made. Kevin Durant. That's also that's kind of the main staple of the NBA free agency right now. People are saying that or I think he said he's 90% sure he's going to stay with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But we'll see if that happens because Durant was blown away by the Los Angeles Clippers. Presentation. I believe it was a 4-hour presentation that they had, and he was blown away. So I'm not really sure what that means, but it could be something that might throw a little monkey wrench for Oklahoma City fans for Kevin Durant to return. But I would have to say too, not being a big Oklahoma City Thunder fan either, or care, I guess, either way, totally, non-bias here. I would say I would hope that Durant stays in Oklahoma City. There's that argument that they're building something there, and they did defeat the Spurs in the playoffs, and did take the Golden State Warriors to Game 7 in the conference finals. There is that, but it's one of those things too that they've been to the finals before. They've made it to the conference finals, and it's always that, they're building something, and Russell Westbrook, he could be gone after next year too. So I understand that what the Oklahoma City Thunder has built, basically, if it doesn't work next year, that could be all gone and vanished very quickly. And even maybe at its best, is it good enough to defeat the Warriors, knock down the Warriors, and you're probably your better option to win might be in Los Angeles, but as a sentimental fan, I guess, I'm not a big fan of people. I know a big thing want him to say join the Warriors. I know people. I don't know if the Warriors are even that big in the mix, or if they even were at any time. But I would just kind of having these. I know NBA is a star-driven league. We've talked about that plenty of times before, but it just, to me, I don't really like it that all the stars end up on one team, and then again, especially if you're a Bucks fan, that you're playing against the big three, or if you're playing against the Warriors, basically that'd be unstoppable to beat. And again, it goes back to, I think, the conversations that Rudy and I had on this show before, that the NBA gets too predictable at that point. So either seeing guys stay where they're at and kind of building a halfway decent team around them, or if some of these guys, kind of like if a Dwayne Wade, like kind of going back to that Dwayne Wade situation, then that's one thing. Part of me is like, well, man, that's a lot of money to spend on an older player, and it's really, I don't think, going to put them over the top, but I think it will make them probably playoff contender wise. You could put them in that mix. Dwayne Wade is, again, still a pretty good player, but and it gives these other teams chances. It spreads the wealth out a little bit. I think it adds maybe a little bit more parity, maybe a little bit more unpredictability. I mean, it doesn't have to be totally crazy. It doesn't have to be NFL insane as far as the unpredictability of it. But just a little bit more would be